and welcome to another Mystery Guide. Of course, I'm Mystery, and today we're looking at the Alpha for Midnight, specifically for Warlocks. Now, if you like my kind of content, please like, subscribe, comment on these videos. I'm doing a whole bunch of them. People seem really enjoyed, especially the Shadow Priest, but I think Warlock is pretty covered in the community, but we're going to have a go. Now, I always say I am taking this. I'm a Mythic Raider, a PvP, Arena 2.1. I do a whole bunch of M+. I play the game, playing for a long time, so I have a pretty good idea of how classes play, and I've played every class there is and spec. So I come in with an approach to help new players, casual players, understand classes, give a feel and a bit of insight into it. If you're someone who is a Warlock main, you are a 99 logger, you're probably going to go to this video and argue me. That's fine, but there are plenty of people who are top rated. I'm sure you're already following for ideas, but I'm here to help the general public. So, Warlock, let's have a look at what's like in Midnight. We'll break down, of course, first with the notes and the new changes, and then have a look how it plays. So, the Warlock class is a new talent called Curse of Exhaustion, replaces Curse of Weakness, reduces target's movement to about 50% for 12 seconds. A Warlock can only have one Curse of Blight active. Curse of Tongues replaces Curse of Weakness while active. Forces target to speak demonic, increasing cast on themselves of 30% for 1 minute. New talent, Improved Mortal Coil. Casting Mortal Coil grants Soul Leech, equal to 1% in maximum health. Infernal Beneficiary. Dark Pack also shields your primary demon. It's interesting, but I mean, you really don't tank. It just like keeps it alive. Maybe for like leveling. New talent, Foul Mouth. Casting Curse of Exhaustion, times of weakness is now curse all enemies of 10 yards. That's really cool, so you can mass slow down casts or mass slow. Shared Vitality, healing down by Drain Life, also heals your primary demon. Again for leveling. Gorfins of Avarice, Drain Life now channels faster. Frequent Travel, just the cast time of Demonic Gateway 0.5, and you can use Demonic Gaze twice before a triggering cooldown. That's cool, bit of a movement thing for Warlocks. Blight of Weakness, call for the cloud of cloying shadow mist that envelops the target all enemies within the 10 yards, increasing the time between their attacks by 100% and reducing their critical strike chance by 10% by 12 seconds. Okay, so that's a new kind of like innovation for Warlocks to try and have some interesting CC. Like, that will help big pools, all enemies within 10 yards, and they reduce attack and really help for big M+ pools. They've moved a lot in the talent trees. They've removed Acquired Vitality, a Plane-Flying Curse, Curse of Enfeeblement, Demonic Inspiration, Demonic Tactics, Lifeblood, Sorcerer's Guile, Soul Conduit, Saga Technique, Teachings of Satir, and Wraithful Minion. Affliction. Development. Unstable Affliction and Seed of Corruption returning as Affliction's main soul shard spenders. Malefic Ratchet solved a lot of issues that plagued Affliction towards the end of Battle of Azeroth, however, placed a lot of emphasis on rotation setup and its increased overall complexity. Malefic Ratchet constantly poses the question, when should I spell my soul shards? And it's a difficult answer given the way factors impacted its threat. Additionally, each new damage time affected added to your Affliction's arsenal, subsequently diluted the throughput of Rupture, which makes it feel less impactful settings on multiple targets. While we could have easily reduced the number of effects impacting Rupture, we wanted to answer the question of soul shard spending to be now, most of the time, is outside of pooling for Dark Glare. Overall, we want less conditionals or to affect Affliction's throughput, to reduce setup time, increase consistency, add clarity when a spell should be cast. For example, Shadow Embrace has now been removed, and the damage increase Unstable Affliction provided prior to Shadowlands via its Contagion calendar has been omitted. Both effects dilute the throughput of Affliction and intrude on the identity of Haunt, which will significantly signify a priority target. Now, to address the elephant in the room, Valtane. While many specializations have tools to solve dot application, dots do not define their movement-to-movement gameplay and shouldn't as the realm of Affliction. Agony would lose a lot of texture and throughput if its application applied a similar way to Corruption. In addition, if there's less emphasis on having every target afflicted with Agony, with the removal of Make Rupture as you spenders throughout is no longer dependent on having Agony active. Since Valtane cannot maintain Agony on its own, we've removed it and placed it with Shared Agony, an effect similar to Balanced Trimmed Moons. This gives us a controlled two method of scaling Agony application and multi-targets when the main's the core. Dot-centric of gameplay of Affliction. Okay, so they're trying to use, I believe, looks here, just like... Oh, so it's like, or just spreading and applying. That's so good. Okay. Lastly, we're changing the cooldowns of Affliction to better suit these gameplays. First, we extend the duration of Dark Glare to 2 minutes to 1 minute. So it's a 1 minute extending the cooldown. To reduce the frequency which players will want to pull soul shards, maximize for UA and Dark Glare. Secondly, we're introducing a new 1 minute called Dark Harvest. Do I have that here? This is an experimental channel spell that mirrors malefic raptures in the way, but instead of scaling per dot, it only needs a single dot to maximize its throughput. Let us know what you think of the cooldown and the change of Affliction. We're excited to hear your thoughts. Do I have that cooldown? What is it? What is it called? Use Dark Harvest. Darker Harvester. Dark Harvest. Oh, yeah, here we go. Go. Apex Talents, Shadow of Nathriza. Haunt deals shadow damage to its host and 3 enemies within 10 yards that are suffering from your corruption damage duration. Increase the initial damage of Haunt. Dealing damage dealt by Haunt has a chance to summon a desperate soul that casts Fellclaw damage. Okay, so now we just got a buff to our Haunt and it applies to multi-targets. It not really changes your effect, it's just basically rotation. The buffs Haste, Mastery. They've got shared agony increase. Agony with 10% agony hits another nearby enemy with 15 yards, so it spreads like double twin moons. Siege of Strike reduces the cast time of Siege of Corruption. Dark Harvest consume the life force of each target afflicted with your period effects, dealing Shadow Flame for 3 seconds. Damage by Dark heals you 50% of the damage, a 1 minute cooldown. Agony damage increased by 10% and starts at 3 stacks. When UA expires, it is 4.8% to reply itself. Shadow and sending damage by Shadow will drain a 20% to make sure next UA costs no charge. Nocturnal Yield, increased corruption damage. Increased damage by Siege, so the Seeds now sends 2 Seeds. Cloning Power, enemy affected by UA, increases the damage you deal. So Mizo UA on the target is not affected by UA has a 20% to refund the soul. Malefic Grasp, Nightfall now transfers your drained soul into Malefic Grasp. Just does more damage over time. UA has been redesigned. Afflicts a target with Shadow over 8 seconds. You may afflict a target with up to 5 UAs at once if dispelled, dealing damage to Dispeller and Silence that generates 1 soul. So you can stack 5 UAs on a target. What? Xavius Games been redesigned, reduced the cast time of UA. Improved Haunt's been redesigned. Cold of the Week. Increases Dark Harvest damage. Death Embrace been redesigned. Agony, Corruption UA, Seed. It increases stats. How it stats. It's all stat buffs here. Seed of Corruption damage. They've increased the Dark Lane Knave, the second talent. And they've removed Dark Harvest, Dark Ferocity, Focus Malignancy, Improved Malic Rupture, Kindle Malaise, Mouth Rupture, Malefic Touch, Melanoma Oblivion, Phantom Singularity, Shadow Embrace, Soul Rot, Tormented Crescendo, Valtame, Vitality Agony, and Perpetual Unstability. Okay, so it really feels like here, like one is Dark Harvest, which is going to do damage to each target affected by my dots. Once my dots are out, I just press Dark Harvest as a cooldown. I then have either a build that's going to be focused on Unstable Affliction, which is nearly everything, which just buffs my UA, and I have my spread out Haunts. Let's see if we can, So we have our spread out Haunt mechanic now. I don't know which. You've got the 2 different choices to either have Wither as an extra cooldown and Maleficence. So replaces Corruption. You go Wither into Malevolence, which will give some new abilities here, but it looks like it's just really your playstyle. We're going to look at their proc at. Not much with Haunt. So if we look at this, I don't know if I can get that. That's our new like Rupture ability, but it's like so easy to apply that now. I can just send my Seeds out. So still gonna have to like, yeah, like I'm gonna have 5 UAs on the target, which is crazy, right? Then just reapply my Agony is so nice. I wonder if I can get that multi, like... Maybe there's a talent there. Let's me get a 5 stacks. Like, I can get to 2 here. How do I get my Haunt to splint? Okay. I mean, it feels way better. There's a bit of an animation coming out there. The way Agony applies feels way nicer. Being able to UA targets like freely as a dot class just feels really nice. I'm liking the bit of animation. I think this looks really cool as a class. I'd be interested if you just like run mass seeds. Oh, we got a bit of a minion coming out. Here we go. Look at that. That looks sick. A bit of UA changes here. That's pretty cool. Let's go to the next one. Aff's looking pretty happy. I think you'd be happy with that. Getting rid of Rupture. They've updated the Agony application. That seems like a really nice class. Very simple. I think you'll just play around your seeds or UA, which combo is best for AoE. But very simple. I think it'll be kind of boring for single target. More fun in AoE. Trying to spread your dots, and single target just be like maintaining 3 dots, you know? Okay, Demonology. Our first goal for Demonology is moving to midnight is to address Demonology with reliance on add-ons to monitor Wild Imp energy to make decisions on when to cast Implosion, Power Siphon, and summon Demonic Tyrant. To accomplish this, we are removing the energy component from Wild Imps, which means the Wild Imps will be around much longer, 40 seconds before disappearing. In efforts to prevent many Wild Imps from running around, we are limited to how many Wild Imps you can have summoned at once that can be increased via multiple talents. Secondly, we want to make a hard look at Demonology's ramp time, make adjustments to the number of casts or cooldowns needed to execute high throughput. It's also important that each spell can stand on its own and doesn't feel like it exists purely for Demonic Tyrant. Some examples of changes made in service of goals are: Vilefiend has been folded into some Dreadstalkers in the form of high-level talent, and Grimoire Felga has been removed. Lastly, we want to provide better onboarding for new players returning to play Demonology. I'm going to reach 10 as who cares about that. Additionally, it's never communicate to player how powerful Felgate is compared to other demons. To address these problems, we've had several baseline abilities of the talent tree to reduce the confusion and smooth out early leveling. These changes make a huge shift in Demonology's gameplay. So your Apex talent here is cool. Dreadstalker summons 1 additional greater Dreadstalk, 2% effectiveness. Increase the damage of your Felgars to just buffs your stats, and a Soul Killer stalks you, collecting demonic cores you use them as enchant to increase the powerful attack that you target when it collects a demonic core. So looks like a bit of gameplay change here that you'll be using a lot of demonic core procs to maximize the damage of your Soul Keeper. If we can see that in action. New talent, improve improvisation, increase the damage dealt by improvisation per wild imp. Bit of intellect buff and mastery buff. Increase the number of wild imps you can control. Unholy power increases the damage of your primary demon. Increase the implosion damage dealt by the gang boss. Hand of Gul'dan, chance to generate core. Increase the many wild imps. Your Demonic Tyrant is equipped with armor forged with Antorus, increasing its armor. While summoned, Demonic Tyrant assaults enemies with powerful melee attacks. There's a visual change here. Explodes Demonic Bolt explodes on impact, consumes demonic core, increases damage all around. Imps, more imps. You can have 3 imps at a time. Summon Doomguard, implosion has 10% to summon a Doomguard. The quantity of Fell Storm is reduced. Demonic Break increases the damage out of your primary demon. While Wild Imps that cast Fellbolt, they have a 10% to grant another fire Fellbolt. I have Gordon's 10% to do blast damage. Gordon's redesign calls down a meteor that deals Shadow Flame damage to impact to all enemies 8 yards and summons 3 imps that last 40 seconds. Hand of Gordon becomes Eye of Gordon, which you can call 3 wild imps, dealing shadow damage to a single target. Imp Gang must redesign the Hand of Gordon now empowers one of the wild imps, increasing its damage. Reduce the cast of Shadow Bolt. Summon Evolved Fiend's been changed, now called Dreadstalkers. Summon Evolve and assist you in combat. Improved Demonic Tactics been updated, increased Critical Strike. Master summons a 2 talent point. Does some mastery changes. The Shadow Bolt buff. Hand of Gordon now replaces Corruption on the talent tree, and Summon Go has moved talent tree. Okay, so we've lost Blind Scourge, Bombers, Blood Evocation, Demonic Strength, Doom, Doom Eternal, Dread Calling, Fell, Invocation, Fell Sunder, Venus Oblation, Foul Mouth, Control, Foul Guard, Immutable Hatred, Impending Doom, Inner Demon, Shadow Invocation, Shadow Touch, Soul Strike, Spiteful Resolution, The Expendables, The Hammer's Gambit, Umbral Blaze, and The Wicked Maw. Wow, okay, so we've got some big changes here for demo. Looks like much more simple. You've got either 2 decisions here. One looks like it wants you to use Implosion, which then empowers other abilities here. Let's see if we can get down to getting at least this talent up. I'll probably play Diabolist because it's super cool. So we know here, so like one Implosion. So I can run some talents here. Like chance to summon a guard if I implode. Go talent there. Implosion, like one area that talked about. And it talked about, what else did it talk about really? And then your you can look at Demon Core. What do we got here? We look at Demon Bolt. Yeah. So let's bring out our big boy. Oh my god, where's my pet summoning ability, guys? Dying Resolve, Summon Demon. Okay. Summon Felgar. What the? Oh, that's just my manual spell. Okay. Okay, for some reason not being able to cast. So I now need to, okay. Cooldown's like it has to be a minimum 3 shards. Okay, get a bit of an upgrade here. But we saw a little eye come out with me, it was interesting. I mean, the eye stuff's pretty cool. We implode at some damage. I think I need some better way to track my soul shards, I feel like, for this class. That was cool. Whatever just made that come down. Like, I'm hovering for my cooldown, but then I don't have enough shards, so I can't click it. Like, it's lit up, but some visual issues here. So you can only get to 6, so I think every time you build to 6 imps, I'm guessing you're just going to dump those imps. So you can summon more chance of summoning more Doom Guards every time you do that. I don't know, I'm not sold on this. I think the other class plays it better. I don't mind the explosion, but it kind of like, without some tracking here, I feel like it's currently the UI is kind of buggy for it. I'd like them to fix how Dreadwalkers like summon out, right? Three. Well, like, how does a player know like when's the right time to imp? I mean, it's very simple. I can either straight. I press Shadow Bolt. If I get the proc from Demon Core, Demon Core, and then I press Dreadstalkers on cooldown. And if I don't have Dreadstalkers on cooldown, I press Ivor Gul'dan. And then at 6 imps, I throw my imps. I think you just need limiting at 6 makes Implosion not feel good. I don't know. Like before you had all these imps, it's like pew pew pew. Here, just like, oh, I forgot to press Implosion because I'm at 6. Ah, damn, I didn't drop. You know what I mean? I think limiting, either remove the spell and do something else, but I don't know. I'd love to see feedback on this, but I feel like ending at 6 just feels kind of gross, right? It's like, oh, I better throw my imps instead of like, you know, just sending it. It's like, oh, get to 6, throw 6 instead of it doesn't feel as chaotic. Implosion felt cool because there were so many, yeah? Yeah, and if it's like, if Implosion's also then not like if 6 imps is not enough imps, is it even worth pressing ever? Like, I guess is there just like, how does the talents work? We spoke about like, if I'm spending Implosion, I have the chance of doing stuff. And I also didn't see Call one Drake summons an addition, a greater Dreadstalker. Did we see that? See, like right now it's lit up. Come on, Blizzard, fix the UI. Alright, let's see this Dreadstalker. Like, where's the greater one there? How do I... There just looks like Dreadstalkers. And that's not even procking. All Dreadstalker summons one additional at 200% that fades after 30 seconds. Like, that didn't even summon that. So I don't know if the talent's not working at the moment, but I'm not seeing a greater Dreadstalker. Okay. Destruction. Overall, we're fairly happy with current state of Destruction. That said, we did want to make some changes going to midnight to streamline its gameplay and reduce the amount of conditional power destruction relies on, such as a temporal chain, damage windows, and mending buffs. As Destruction Warlock, we want your chaos and random fire spells to feel impactful and not to comment them into to cut a lot of temporary increases so that power becomes spells baseline. Now there's a lot of effects we've been trimmed, so we can do adjustments to data provider with testing feedback, which we call simplifying. Alright, Apex Talents, Embers of Nilium, chance of casting, chance of Echo of Dark Titans, hurl a Nithelium at the target. So just do your rotation, damage will proc, gives you a crit and haste buff, casting chaos button random farm echoes, gives an echo of the ability. Okay, so do stuff and your things will just proc. Intellect Mastery buff, increases duration of Havoc for 5 seconds, increases Havoc damage. Lake of Fire, Catalyst now believes of Lake of Fire, does damage to 8 seconds and Wither on the ground. One eruption increases Incinerate damage, Catting Fire increases Chaos Pulse damage, increases your quickly how Rain of Fire deals damage, so it makes a ramp on your Infernal, on your Immolation. Aetherius Eye, Rain of Fire is 10% reduce the cost of Rain of Fire. Mark of Ruvarad, your Prime Demon's Critical Strike 20% additional damage. Cool, so just another stat stick. Roaring Blaze, reduce increases frag rates damage. Everything has nothing to the playstyle, just like how it's going to balance out with damage. Shadow Defense, redone Blast Attack with Shadow Flame damage. Only will be usable with less than 20. Restores a Soul Shard. If it dies, get no cooldown instant. Blistering Atrophy has been redesigned, increases the critical chance of Shadow Burn. Fiend's Cruelty has been redesigned. Critical Strikes your Chaos Bolt. Or consider 10% to make your next cast of Shadow Burn in 30 seconds. Who cares? Opening cast here. Summons Fire Overfiend. That's a visual change. That's cool. Backlash. Now 2 point. Just has base crit. Chaos Bolt. Just some damage stuff. Ruin. Some more damage stuff. Conflagrate. That's just a bit. Nothing really changed here. It's all just stat weights balancing. Burnt Ashes. Decimation. Devastation. Adventure Ripper. Indiscriminate Flames, Master Rituals, Power Overwhelming, Pyrogenics, Raging Demon Fire, Ritual of Ruin, and Rolling Havoc have been changed. I'm gonna have to try and dismiss that bad boy. Let's have a look at Destruction. Looks like very simple. Very simple. Okay. So Diabolist here, we can go into talents here. I'll probably go into them so we can see it. I mean, how do you not play Diabolist? It looks the coolest. So again, like super easy with this class. Like, let's throw down this. Throw out my Immolates. And then I can just like span Rain of Fire and go like a Rain of Fire. But you can see those big blames of fire coming from the sky. That's the visual. See that? That's all the new specs. So you get a bit of this epic fire that hits the ground. Like my Incinerate's just naturally cleaving. Like, what a class, dude. So you're either going to do like a Rain of Fire spam build, or you're going to start Chaos Bolting, right? You can see one of my Bane proccing there, so it splits. So it'll be depending on targets, is like when to Chaos Bolt or when to Rain of Fire, right? Very easy. And if you go like Rain of Fire, I guess like there's so many talents that will buff Rain of Fire. So you'll be going into a real Rain of Fire build, or it's like super simple, or a Chaos Bolt build. And that would just be simming on how you play it. I mean, like single target, you're probably not going to go at all any Rain of Fire. It's very chalk and cheese. Do we think the fire? I guess the question here for people playing at home: does this like fire from the sky look good at all? Or is that trolling? You know what I mean? But this is a like recommended to anybody like wanting to learn the game. Like just play, you know, play this class. What? How easy? There's nothing to do here. And the natural cleave or the play of chaos, usually Warlock, like this is such an easy class. You'll just dominate. I guess people are playing at home is like, what do they think? They don't have to worry about, application of Bane anymore. You've got no crazy TSS, just send it. I don't know. It looks cool. They like, at least this class compared to other classes has some really cool visuals, but oh, look at me go, dude. I'm absolutely blasting. When you play other classes in alpha, it's like, how does this get away with this one? What a class, dude. Oh, like I don't even have to worry about like where I'm throwing my rain of fire. How good. Right. Alright guys, well that's Warlock. If you've liked my video, please check out my socials, like, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one. Happy fun.